Hi guys, this is Scarlett. I noticed that a lot of people still don't know how to achieve rank 1 in Sirjuka's Gallery, and this is probably because they don't know all of the mechanics involved in this instance. SG is a lot like Temple of Temerity, or TOT, in that you get badges from completing the instance that you can use to buy advanced glyphs. If you have all of your glyphs, SG is still worthwhile because each gold talent is worth anywhere from 300 to 500 gold on Mount Tyrannus. SG has 3 platforms, and each has different mechanics. So when you enter SG and arrive at the first platform, as I'm doing now, you'll see some mobs hitting a crystal in the center of the room. So just give it a second because I'm a slow runner. There they are. These mobs don't do damage to the crystal at this point. They're just there so you can start the instance by killing them. You'll also see 4 green crystals on the edges of the room. My character is running around to show you where they are now. To start, each of the DPS in the tank should go to a crystal and lower its health to about 10%. But be careful not to destroy the crystal yet. As people lower their crystals, they should help the healer in the center of the room to kill the mobs. And they should leave 1 mob alive at low health so that the healer can start the instance when everyone's in place. When ready, all of the DPS in the tank should be next to their respective crystals, and the healer should start the instance by killing the remaining mob. At that point, everyone should quickly destroy their green crystals and then focus on the mobs that spawn. While we're lowering crystals, I'd like to mention a couple of important things to help you earn extra points. First, you'll notice that Hawaiian Fatty's health is very low. If the healer heals someone at low health, you earn bonus points. So before the platform starts, someone can use a skill to get to low health. You'll know that you're successful if you see saved a party member after healing that person. You earn points for saving someone once per platform. Now that the platform has begun, you'll see that mobs have spawned by each fenced area. The DPS and the tank need to take them down. This brings me to another important source of bonus points. For most mobs, including those that first spawn when the instance begins, you must make your last hit an auto attack. This is the basic attack that you start the game with. If successful, you'll see your character say "Simply Extraordinary," earning you 1500 points. Don't be too slow in lowering the health of the mobs, because completing the platform in a timely manner will earn you points as well. Now you'll see my character attacking jockey mobs. Throughout the first platform, these mobs will spawn and will make a beeline for the crystal. If they reach it, they can do quick damage by throwing bombs. The healer's job in the first platform is to watch for jockeys and to knock down and kill them before they reach the crystal. Make sure to use an auto attack for the last hit. After the large red mobs die, a wave of mobs will spawn, as you can see here, and you've seen a few seconds ago. These mobs need to be killed fairly quickly, but they don't do a lot of damage to the crystal once they reach it. You need to make sure to get an auto attack as the last hit on those mobs. Next, archer mobs will spawn from various directions and head toward the crystal. Try to have all of the DPS focus on one at a time until last hit with auto attacks. Once those are dead, you'll see 2 BAMs spawn. So I'm going to speed up the video here so that you can see those more quickly. Alright, so here are those 2 BAMs. These can be slowed but not knocked down, so they need to die quickly, and they need to be killed with an auto attack. Meanwhile, the healer should be focusing on jockeys. After the tyrants die, gulas will spawn. You should kill one of them quickly and last hit it with an auto attack. For the second gula, it needs to be brought to low health, maybe about 5 to 10%, and then all of the DPS need to run to the fence where the first wave of mobs spawn. So once the tank kills the remaining Gula, a really large wave of mobs is going to spawn. These are very hard hitting and they'll destroy the crystal if you don't kill them quickly enough, so forget about using auto attacks for the last hit and just bring them down as quickly as possible. Once those are dead, trees will start to spawn. These trees can only be slowed. Focus down one tree at a time, killing each with an auto attack. One tree will spawn at each fence for a total of 4, and they'll spawn a few seconds apart in a clockwise manner. Meanwhile, the healer should be hunting for jockeys. This is a point where I'm going to stop and tell you about jumping. Jumping will get you 10 points each time you do it, and it should be done throughout the platform and also at the end while you're waiting for the gates to go down. When the last tree dies, you're finished, and hopefully you have about 90,000 points. You might get a bonus jockey at the very end, so keep an eye out until the gates go down to the next platform. And remember to keep jumping. Alright, here we are at the second platform. This is a little different looking from the first. You'll notice barrels all around the room. You need to avoid these and don't hit them if you're nearby because they'll one-shot you. It can be a funny joke though if people are running by and you hit them. In this room there are 3 green crystals instead of 4. It's the same story with these as it was during the first platform. Basically, you get them down to low health before starting the event. When the event begins, DPS should kill their crystals and join the healer at the gate beside the path to the third platform. You'll see me running over there now. Meanwhile, a large BAM will spawn that the tank needs to quickly aggro and drag to the barrels beside the path leading from the second platform. After aggroing, the BAM might take its time to follow the tank, but the tank should keep moving toward the barrels so that it eventually follows. The tank should destroy the barrels with a bomb or a chain skill, or have a DPS destroy a barrel when the BAM is on top of them. Just be careful not to stand too close or you'll be killed. When the first BAM is dead, as you saw a few seconds ago, a Juggernaut spawns by the healer and the DPS. It needs to be slowed and killed quickly using an auto attack for the final hit. After it dies, the DPS need to move across the room to the opposite fenced area. A second BAM will spawn and the tank should kill it using barrels again. During this time, a Tera will spawn where the DPS are standing, so don't kill it. It needs to be knocked down and kept down as much as possible so that it doesn't reach the crystal. If it remains alive at the end, you get tons of extra points. The DPS who aren't knocking down the Tera should just jump around for a while. When the second BAM dies, a third and final BAM will spawn. The tank and DPS should kill that BAM and try to use auto attack for the final hit. In the meantime, the DPS need to keep an eye on the Tera and keep it away from the crystal. While the third BAM is up, 2 more Tera will spawn. You can see one now, and my character is currently running to the second. The first will be at the fence by the path to the third platform, and the second will spawn shortly thereafter by the fence in between the other fenced areas. The healer should keep the first Tera knocked down until the second one spawns. At this point, the first Tera can be slept, and the healer can focus on knocking down the second until the cooldown on sleep is up, and the first Tera can be slept again. Tera can resist sleep, but if this happens, you can also fear, stun, and slow them. Once the final BAM dies, the second platform is over. The faster the second platform is over, the better, because you get time bonuses. Don't forget to jump, and hopefully once it's over you should be at about 170,000 points. Finally, we've arrived at the third and final platform. By this point, you should be at or near 170,000 points. If you aren't, 1 or 2 DPS can run to the sides of the room and kill the mobs standing around the green crystals using auto attacks to last hit them. For this platform, you do not want to kill the green crystals, as this will decrease your points. I repeat, do not kill the green crystals. The tank and DPS should immediately run to the center of the room, pick up the BAM, and move it away from the crystal. The BAM should be kept away from the crystal and killed as quickly as possible. Watch out for some hard-hitting moves, including a forward flip, a back flip, and pounding the ground with its fists. See a forward flip just there. The healer can heal people from low health for bonus points, but be careful because dying loses points. If someone dies, you can use the /cry emotes to earn some points back. The BAM needs to be brought down to 10% life. At 15%, don't use any slows or stuns. At 10%, stop hitting the BAM altogether and allow it to run to the center of the room. Alright, here we are. Our BAM is near 10%, and a Dracolith will spawn at the center of the room. Once the BAM runs over there, and he might take his time, just be patient and don't slow it down. The Dracolith will use fire to debuff the BAM, and you can then kill it using an auto attack for the final hit. If you fail to have the dragon kill the boss, you'll have to burn it down before the time is up. Once the BAM dies, you've completed SG, and hopefully you have rank 1. I hope that this guide has been helpful, and good luck running SG.